Stab in the back to a trigger to your eyes. Now I'm loading up a 44, try to stop the size. If you fucking with the party, then we might just take your life. Yeah, you know who we are, every party will be slide. I don't need a thing.
So this training actually wasn't bad at all, finally. Some good improvements, or I should say, finally getting back the skill which I used to have. Like the freestyle combo which I did, I actually wanted to do quadruple 360. And since my third 360 wasn't ideal, I couldn't go for the fourth one. So that's a shame, but I still continued the combo. I did a nice shrimp flip, which is great. And at first when I touched the bar, I didn't feel right. I felt kind of heavy, and so I wasn't sure how I would perform in terms of my freestyle. And shrimp flip 360, I just didn't have power to do it. So I decided to try something else. That's when I went for that, or I at least tried that quadruple 360 combo. And then I went for statics and I did full planche attempts. They still aren't ideal, but I felt that I could manage to hold it much better. The only problem was that I was putting too much pressure on my left wrist, And the last thing which I want to mention about the training, then I will go to the lesson which I wanted to mention or talk about. It was probably a year since I last had this kind of an injury, or how should I call it, but I would actually think of it as a trophy, because I don't really think of it as a hindrance, and most of all, like, I was doing too much freestyle recently and I should focus on my statics more, because freestyle I already have the skill. I just can't go 100% because of my right knee, which I still didn't manage to get like fully adjusted to all the movements and landings. And so in that case, like, freestyle is actually good. I should focus on the statics. The problem is that I mostly enjoy freestyle. That's why I have been doing it every session, or at least I tried every session. And so yeah, I should push statics more, but also the reason why I am not doing as much statics as I would like is due to my back pain. It still hasn't gone away completely, so that's also why I am not pushing front lever. But that's a different story. Right now I want to go to the lesson which I wanted to talk about. And it's that if you are on self-improvement, then it will be the most relatable. If not, then you can relate to it from your trainings probably. And so it's whenever you are trying to be disciplined, you have your own regime, your own routine. For me, it was, I used to meditate every single day, I used to journal, I used to read consistently and do all those kinds of things. But I fell off into a rut for maybe even 2 months, if not longer. I wasn't disciplined at all. I didn't have like the motivation, the drive to do all those habits which I used to do. I also neglected my sleep regime and whatnot. And actually I was always trying to get back on the regime, to my routine, but I couldn't bring myself. Like, there was such a strong friction and I didn't have any idea like what was causing that friction. And even though I spent 2 months trying to figure it out and get back on the regime, I just couldn't manage to do it. And then I was reading, actually I am currently reading, and it's called 33 Strategies of War, I believe, by Robert Greene. And there he mentioned something interesting, and it's something I have already known, like I had it in my head, but sometimes you have to read something or listen to something or hear something, like after a period of time when you actually become like ready to hear it, or after you actually go through an experience in your life which will make you capable of actually, like, how can I say it, understand or be capable of understanding that lesson or that idea. And basically it's that sometimes you just need some kind of a pressure, something that would constantly keep you on point, keep you sharp. And for me, when I look back to those 2 months, I didn't have anything that would cause me like real pressure. Because in terms of my business, in a sense I went all in, because if I won't manage to blow up with my business or make it happen, well, I don't really have a proper future, since the university which I applied for is not something that will make me do a proper job. And for that reason, it's kind of like my way of going all in. But at the same time, I still have many other options. Like, because I'm still at a university, so I still have the option to finish my studies, get a degree, and then find a proper job, as everyone does nowadays, as everyone says you should do. And so in that case, I still have like another plan. The third one could be that even if I don't get a degree, I can still get like a normal, simple job which doesn't require that. And so there are still plenty of other like options which I can take. And for that reason, even though I somewhat like went all in, I am still not pressured enough to like fully commit, if you know what I mean. And so I didn't have anything that would make me feel the pressure and make me keep going. And also everyone talks about purpose and stuff like that. I have been trying to find it for many years, maybe even, but I couldn't manage to do it. And so I didn't want to postpone my grind and work, because then it would be even more difficult, like as the time goes on. And for that reason, I basically wanted to do something else instead of trying to find my purpose. Maybe it will come to me eventually, but for now I decided to do something that I can actually do. And now I will go to what I found in the book, and you have probably heard it before, and I have already mentioned it actually, and it's that sometimes you just need some kind of a pressure, something that would keep you sharp and keep you on point. And a few weeks ago or so I got an email where I was invited to join the competition which I joined last year, and it was actually the nationals, and I managed to get a third place last year. And after the competition I dislocated my knee. And so in a rational sense, like from that point of view, it's definitely kind of maybe even ridiculous or stupid for me to actually compete once again this year, since I had such a horrible injury which halted my progress for many months, and it will actually be almost a year, because I am still not fully capable of performing the freestyle which I used to do. And that means that I can't like go 100% on my preparation, and thus the competition is kind of a stupid idea for me to compete in once again. But I decided to join the competition for a completely different reason, and that reason is that I wanted the pressure which I mentioned. And since I have a deadline when that competition will be held, I am kind of like responsible for what I will do. There will be people watching me, and so there is a high chance that I will either surprise them or I will completely make a fool out of myself. And since there is a chance of me embarrassing myself in front of all those people, it gives me that pressure which I didn't have. And what's interesting is that right after I registered, which happened actually, I believe it was the day before yesterday, and right after I joined, I suddenly found it easy to start reading, I suddenly started to meditate, I suddenly started to not break my diet, I suddenly started to be disciplined with my sleep regime. And so it's super interesting, like that's the lesson which I wanted to share with you in this video. Like if you struggle to be disciplined with your regime, with your habits which you wanted to do and you wanted to be like super consistent with, then this lesson is something that might help you in that case. Sometimes we just don't have that thing which would pressure us to be disciplined. And if you have any kind of option in your life to go for something like this, like in my case the competition, definitely go for it, even if it's not really for the reward of that, in this specific example, of that competition, then at least go for a completely different reason. It could be to just go out of your comfort zone if you are, I don't know, afraid to do something in front of other people, or if you are afraid to make a fool out of yourself, which is pretty strong motivator in my case, then go for it. Like it's a wonderful opportunity, and that's why I decided to register for this competition once again. But it's also somewhat like a battle in which I can prove that I can rise again, even though I had such a horrible hydrants, which was my injury, my right knee, or actually something that people don't really know about, and those are the small injuries, or small, I don't even know what to call them. Like my back pain was something that reset my front liver progress, which I made just 3.5 weeks ago, or 4 weeks now. Like it's just not even a month ago, and I lost all that skill just because of my back pain. And also I had shoulder pain, which was another thing which kind of like destroyed my progress. And there are many small things, and if I will manage to do an amazing performance on that competition, then I will be completely satisfied, even if I won't place. But I still haven't decided if my goal will be to place during that competition, or if I am using it just to boost my discipline. And it's something that I will think about a bit more. I still have around 5 months till the competition, and so that's what I wanted to mention in this lesson. I hope that this video was valuable in some way, at least, or at least I hope that it was inspiring. And if you liked what I was talking about in this video, you might also like the one and only product which I have, and it's linked in the description, and afterwards you can check out this video next.